doing it. We're podcasting. 2022, here we are. First podcast ever. No one has ever done a podcast in the year 2022 yet. They've all been stopped until we got started. So here we are, the first one. Now the rest of you can start podcasting. So go forth and podcast. This is number 173 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, Happy New Year.
It is New Year. We've got 30% more two than we had last year. 33% more two. There's an extra two this year. And I hope we all take some delight in that.
It is. Sam is in the chat. Sam, how are you?
Here.
Happy New Year to you as well. Sam says, oh, good. I woke up and made dinner on time for the podcast. Yeah. Sam, what are you having for dinner? I had some spicy ramen. It was really good. I liked it.
Ooh.
It was good. My girlfriend got me hooked on it. I went out to visit her and it's like, you have to try this spicy ramen. And I did. And I was like, I'm going to buy this spicy ramen when I get home. And I did.
Can't handle it.
It's
I want mild ramen, please.
It's the right amount of spice. Like it is spicy. It makes me sweat, like the back of my head sweats and all of that stuff. But it's not so spicy and hot that it's just like, oh my God, I can't breathe and I'm choking. And it's perfect. Right there. Sam says, my family calls this a chalupa, but I just make it taco salad. So Mexican food, that's always good.
Oh, crispy, crunchy.
Indeed. Melissa, we just got back from vacation. Like I said, this is our first podcast of the year for 2022 here at the Whatnauts, the very first one that we are recording. I haven't really spoken to you in 2 weeks-ish.
No, not since our botched recording about Hawkeye, the final episode of Hawkeye.
I was so bummed. Well, we'll mention that in a sec.
We recorded it. We talked. You and I, as private friends, had a full conversation about the final episode of Hawkeye. Your computer just gobbled it up, so nobody else gets to hear it.
It did, yeah. But how was your break? How was your holidays?
It was nice. It was a chill Christmas because I had that big family party earlier on in December. So by the time we hit Christmas proper, there was much less that I had to do. I felt relaxed. I made a big bread for the family to enjoy. We just hung out and watched movies, actually enjoyed each other's company in the same living room, which we didn't get to do last year. It was nice.
Good stuff. Yeah, that was kind of like what I did. I went out to go visit my parents, so I had to fly out to Montana, which is where my parents picked me up, and then we drove into Wyoming.
Wow.
Because the airport where they are, like in the actual town where they are, is so tiny that like it's more expensive to fly into that one than it is to like go to one at a bigger town like 2 hours over, which is also across a state line. But yeah, so I got there. I was out in Wyoming for about 2 weeks, and I did a whole lot of nothing. It was great.
That's good.
My parents up as much as I could on the Marvel stuff. Tried to watch the Matrix stuff, which we'll be covering on the review show, but tried to get them to watch it. My dad was not into it. My mom more into it, but not like, yeah, let's keep watching. This was great. She was like, it was okay. I liked it. I would watch the next one. But instead, we ended up watching seasons 1 and 2 of Titans on HBO Max. We covered the first season on the review show a long time ago, and that show's really good. Like I'm impressed with how good that show is.
Nice. I'm glad to hear positive things about season 2.
It does a weird thing now that I've seen season 2. The premiere of season 2 should have been the finale of season 1.
That can happen.
I don't know what happened, if there was just weird timing or something, but it absolutely was the finale of that story. And it's like episode 2 is when the like next big thing starts, and it's just like, I don't understand this. Like season 1 I think was 11, and then season 2 was 13, so it's just like, why didn't you just make them both 12? Like I don't understand. But yeah, we've been watching that, and so I now get to start season 3 here on my own, and then go into Doom Patrol after that. So
all the way to 3. Happy to hear those shows are thriving over there. Doom Patrol has been on my list for a while to get back to, because I watched like 4 or 5 episodes and thought, this is great. And then I lost my access to DC Universe. And then by the time HBO Max was up and it was back over there, then my older brother was watching it, and we have to share a profile because we have too many people crammed into one HBO Max account. And I'm like,
yep.
Maybe when he's done, so we're not like in each other's lanes, I'll watch Doom Patrol again.
I gotcha. Good stuff. Well, let's see. First of all, let's mention a few changes here. That is, I guess there's really only one change that affects this show. But that is, we're going to be doing a shorter show here on the Captain's Log, cutting it down from an hour and a half to simply an hour. And that's it's not going to be like an hour on the dot, we're done, end of show, but it's going to be around that time is when we'll start wrapping things up. So it might go long, it might go short, who knows? It's just going to be right around there. But I think that's going to help things be the word that I've been using is punchier. That we'll just get to the meat of the
pow.
Yeah, biff bam pow. Ha.
Zing.
Let's see. Things on HBO Max that my friend is begging me to watch: the Matrix movies. Yes, right now would be the perfect time to watch them since the new one just came out, and we're covering them on the review show. The first one.
What timing?
So that Young Justice, also fantastic. I've been watching that with my girlfriend right now. We're in season 2, and Curb Your Enthusiasm. I've never gotten into that one.
I've also never seen it.
Yeah,
I know like the circus music plays.
Right. Yeah,
it's that show with circus music, as far as I know.
Yeah, and the Harley Quinn cartoon, which I've heard nothing but good things too. Yes, most of those things are on my list, or I've already seen them, or can recommend them. So yes, go watch Young Justice. It's great. It's fantastic. I can absolutely say go watch that one. But man, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back here at my own home, in my own bed, podcasting. Stuff like that.
Right. All your stuff, your good mic, your good webcam.
So that was the thing that happened with our reactions to Hawkeye is I can't take my whole big computer. So I took my laptop thinking I could do I tried to figure this out, how to say this, the least bare minimum, because it's not the most bare minimum, because the most bare is like almost nothing, but the least bare minimum is like you did the most, but it was still bare minimum.
It's not bare minimum, but it's skimpy minimum. It's minimum in a bikini.
Yeah, like I had my laptop, I had a webcam and my mic, and I just tried to do a really, really simple OBS. I mean, what you see here with our like animated background and stuff, but all the stuff for the Reactor Corps. And between Discord and OBS and that video running and me recording and then me recording in Audacity, we got done with the podcast and I was like, all right, let me just check because I have a feeling it's gonna be bad. And yeah, the video only recorded the first 2 minutes, and then my audio only got the first 5. And besides that, it just stopped. It was just like, yep, we're not gonna record anymore.
Goodbye.
So that sucked. But yes, we have watched the Hawkeye finale. No, we're not gonna re-record. It's already too far on. But real fast, Melissa, what did you think of Hawkeye? I guess just kind of spoiler-free stuff.
Jolly holiday good times. I enjoyed the show.
Fun.
I think it wrapped up pretty well. There's a couple story points that I would have liked to have seen fleshed out a little bit more, but everything you're expecting to be touched upon is touched upon. They put some holiday bows on stuff at the end. And I love the post-credits scene. I think that was a great treat at the end of a calendar year full of Marvel content.
Indeed. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm kind of with you too. I think it could have used 1 or 2 more episodes to flesh things out a little bit. I also hope this gets a second season. In the comics, Kate eventually moves out to the West Coast and stuff like that. So I would like to potentially see her out on her own, doing her own adventures and stuff like that. But we shall see. There's a lot in that show. It's just like, we shall see. Like, we'll see where some of these stories go, who may have survived or who didn't, or who's going to be in this show and who's going to be in that show next and stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it was very understated. Like, it's not this like hugely bombastic show with big action and stuff. It's just it has some action, but it's pretty understated, and that's exactly what the comics are too. So I think it fit, and I think it was really good. I liked it.
How did your parents find all the new Marvel content?
Ooh, they were surprised by What If. That was the one. And I knew it would be that one that they were just like, I don't know, like, we tried. Long story short, what happened is I think they were about to watch the first one, paused it for whatever reason, and then didn't get back to it that day. And then like a couple days later, they tried to start it again, but accidentally started watching Ant-Man instead and didn't realize it. And like half an hour in, they were just like, this is Ant-Man. Like, why are we watching Ant-Man?
It's so funny. Not a problem, though. Of all the things to accidentally
great
click
movie.
on, Ant-Man's like a treat for you. It's like the universe is like, no, I know what you need right now. It's Ant-Man.
Yep.
Take some Ant-Man and feel joy.
Indeed. So we watched that, and they loved it. They thought it was fantastic. Their favorite one was, I think, episode 4, the Doctor Strange one there. They loved that one. And yeah, I also went to go see Spider-Man No Way Home for a second time. And got to watch that with my parents. My dad looked at me in the middle of the movie and was like, this is awesome. I love this.
Oh, good.
I was just like, yes, this is great.
Yeah. My older brother and my nephew finally got out to see it today. My brother texted me like, I didn't even see some of the movies that led up to this movie. I'm going to say this spoiler free, because there's a moment that's a callback, a very specific callback to something. And he's like, I didn't even see the lead up to that, but I was so emotional at that scene anyway. And I'm like, yep. That's our whole awesome. Theater clapped.
Yep. Good stuff. So yeah, they enjoyed it a lot. I'm gonna have to be like, don't forget Eternals, January 12th on Disney Plus. Go watch it. Yeah, real soon. I think 2 days after this will go public. I think go live on YouTube.
Tuesday,
like 2 days.
Eternal
after that.
Tuesday. I'm very curious to find what parents will think of Eternals.
Wednesday, right?
I thought it was the 11th.
Wednesday. I thought it was the 12th.
The Wednesday, yeah, the 12th makes more sense. They put everything else out on Wednesdays. You're probably right.
I don't know.
I watched Shang-Chi with my folks. I'd been wanting to rewatch it since I saw it in the drive-in. And I specifically wanted to not just show it to my parents, not just know that they had seen it, but like, I want to watch this on my dad's big TV.
Yeah.
And it was great. We all had a fun time. Like, I put it on and my dad was like in the middle of something. And I'm like, are you going to be able to sit down for the whole thing? And he's like, I don't know. And then he did. He sat there for all 2+ hours of the thing. Riveted.
Good stuff. Yeah, my dad likes that one a lot too, but he's also partial to Shang-Chi. That was his favorite, or one of his favorites as a kid. So he was excited to see that one when it came out, and he liked it a lot. But he had already seen that when we went out there. So there you go. But speaking of Marvel stuff, Morbius just got delayed. How about that? They're like,
for how long? I saw a headline that just said spring, and I didn't look further into what the actual date was.
Doop. Yeah, let's see here. And going into our Discord, the Hollywood Reporter. On interwebs, what are you doing here? I guess I could have looked this up on the computer.
This is going to be an interesting movie to watch in spring. I feel like if it couldn't come out around Halloween times, which seems like spiritually is when it should come out, it was going to come out in like February, like in a couple weeks, maybe later this month or in February. And I thought, okay, Dark of Winter, perfect vampire times. If we're seeing a vampire in like late April, that's strange.
It's not late
the strangest of all.
April 1st is when we're going to see Morbius.
Okay,
supposedly.
Okay. Interesting timeline.
This one has it was originally supposed to be out in October of 2021. And now it's early spring.
Always? Originally? Way back when we first saw the trailer and we're like, what's Michael Keaton doing in here?
No. I guess, did they say the original in this article? I don't think they say the original, but Sony and Marvel film had already been delayed several times due to COVID-19 pandemic. In January, Sony announced that the film would move from October 2021 to early 2022. What? So that was January 2021 when they announced all that stuff.
I'm just fascinated by all these timeline changes. I look them up as if it's ever going to do anything for me. Like 20 years from now, there's going to be what was the original release date planned for this movie round in a trivia night where we have to try and remember not just movies that came out, but pre-pandemic what their original planned release dates were going to be. Nobody will ever need me to know this.
Go stuff though. Yeah, that would make sense for a good trivia night. Spider-Man No Way Home was originally supposed to be out on what date in 2021? Yeah, that'd be good. Let's see here. But yeah, April 1st is when Morbius is now supposedly coming out. And all of that stuff. But I finally got a chance to do all my math and all of that stuff for my media wrap-up.
Oh, yes. You have real numbers.
I got numbers and stats. Yeah. So I started it 2 years ago. I just kept track of every movie that I watched, every TV show that I watched, and every comic book that I read. And at the end of the year, add up all the stuff I watched this many movies. I spent this many hours watching TV. I read this many comics, all that stuff. So let me pull up my notes here. Actually, let me see if I can pull up the one from last year. 2020, so I can do some real quick stuff. So in 2020, I watched 69 movies. Nice. I watched 51 different television shows,
Wow.
totaling out to 908 hours worth of content, give or take. In comic books, I read 600 issues of comics and 90 chapters of manga. That's what
Oh,
I did in 2020.
okay.
But for 2021, this is the brand new stuff that I just
Uh-huh.
calculated here. Movies. 116 movies.
Wow, that's so many.
Yeah. Two of them I watched twice. And the two that I
Ooh,
watched twice was Spider-Man Far From Home and Spider-Man No Way Home. Those are the ones that I
excellent.
watched
Good
2 times
choices.
each because I made my parents watch the previous Tom Holland Spider-Man and a few of the old, you know, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield movies and stuff because we were on a Spider-Man kick. So
Nice.
we did all of that stuff. But yeah, 116 different movies. Kind of wild. For television shows, I watched 69 different shows. Nice.
Hey.
Yeah. Four of those shows I watched twice. Those happen to be all of
Ooh,
the Marvel shows because I
okay.
like watched them like by myself or with my girlfriend or with my parents. So I had seen I've seen each of them twice now. Um, so I guess 73 total, I guess. I don't know. But that equaled out to about 1,058.5 hours of just sitting in front of my TV. I should see if I can calculate how many
That's
days
real intense
that
butt
is.
time.
Right? Yeah. Let's see, 1,058.5. Let me go to my calculator. Clear 1,058.5. Divided by, what do I divide by? 24, since that's how many hours are in a day, I guess.
That's true. That's what I've heard.
24. If my math is correct, I spent 44.1 days watching TV.
Kyle, do you know how many days that is? I'm rewatching Lost. That's the amount of time the castaways spend on the island in season 1. That's real time season 1 of Lost.
That's great. that's a month and a half. I spent a month and a half just watching TV in 2021. That's kind of wild. Wow. Okay. Let me get my notes back up here again. Yeah, that's a lot. And that's like give or take, right? Because I
Yeah.
do it. If it's an hour-long show, I count that as a full hour.
Okay.
Most of them are like 42, but then there's the ones that are like 52 or an hour and 6 minutes and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
It'll balance out. There were some
yeah.
long darks last year.
And then the half an hour, the 20-minute ones are just half an
Yeah.
hour. Then I actually had a couple special cases like Steven
Ooh.
Universe Future, where they're 10-minute long ones.
10.
And Infinity Train too. I watched that this year, and they're just 10-minute long things. So I had to. It worked out perfectly because Steven Universe. This is odd here. To watch all of Steven Universe Future, there's a total of 20 episodes, but if they're 10 minutes each, that ends up being 3 hours. It's like 3.33 on that one, and then for Infinity Train, it's double that, so it ends up being 6.66. It's 666.
Devilish. Infernal.
Yeah.
What a train to hell.
But yeah, that kind of worked out because then it's just like, well, that's just 10 hours there. That like you can just slightly round that up there. So There, yeah, Sam, I know you would like that. She's in the chat like, yo. Yep, 6.66 hours of your life to watch Infinity Train on that stuff. And then last but not least, I'll get into my comics here. I read 90 different comic series totaling out to 882 issues. However, this year I only read one manga, and I read 39 chapters of that manga, and that was Princess Jellyfish.
39 chapters? That's how many we read?
Yeah, because we did the first 4 volumes of
39 seems like such a high number.
Right, yeah. Well, those chapters go quick, and there's like 10 chapters per volume. So, there you go. 39 chapters of manga. But yeah, it's pretty much an increase all around the board. Except for manga. I took a drastic hit of manga this year and didn't do as much. But
well, we're on track to read more for the review show this year, so you'll pick it back up.
Indeed, we will. But yeah, that's kind of my media number wrap up thing. I watch a lot. I read a lot. I do all sorts of stuff, and it's just fun to be like, wow, Kyle, look how much you wasted your life this year. It's
fun to do stuff like this. I didn't finalize it until December 31st in case anything came out late. I finalized my favorite YouTube videos of the year playlist, which is like 35 to 40 things.
There you go. Good stuff.
And I had to cull through so much to get there. Jack, friend of the show, Jack, challenged me to write lists of my 10 favorite new movies that were released in 2021 and 10 favorite new to me movies that I happened to watch in 2021. So I spent the last couple of weeks of the year trying to cram in a lot of new features to see if they would make the list or not.
Okay. Did you have some that stood out?
Yeah.
Ones you want to mention?
I don't think there was any movie I saw last year that I didn't enjoy. I mean, there were ones that I thought, like I watched Being the Ricardos, and I thought, I don't think as a whole film, it's on Amazon Prime. It is from Aaron Sorkin, and it is a week in the life of the I Love Lucy television production.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah. During a week where there's like news in the tabloids about him. It's a very harried week for the cast in their personal lives, in addition to just putting out a good episode of the show.
Is this a documentary thing, or is it like actors portraying?
It's scripted. We've got Nicole Kidman as Lucy herself, Javier Bardem as Desi, J.K. Simmons as Fred Mertz. An excellent performance.
Good stuff.
So I don't know if like that movie as a whole would make my list. But the performances, if I had to come up with Oscar-style actor categories, that would have many appearances. I love the whole main 4. Yeah. Let's see. I think I thought about this a lot. When I sent it to Jack, I ended up like giving up and putting everything in alphabetical order instead of officially ranking them. But I thought hard about it, and I think my favorite movie that came out in 2021, I mean, it's close between James Bond and Spider-Man, my 2 boys. And I ended up going with James Bond because I think No Time to Die is technically such a stunning movie on a lot of levels. Like the most of what I enjoyed about it is there on the screen. Whereas a lot of what I enjoyed about Spider-Man is part of the meta story around and outside of the film. So that's why I put them that way, the way I did in my heart.
Okay.
The top 10s as a whole. Let me pull them up for you. Like I said, these are in alphabetical order. Newly released movies in 2021. My top 10 list ended up being Encanto, Eternals, The French Dispatch, The Green Knight, Mitchells versus the Machines, Nightmare Alley, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, and The Suicide Squad. So it's like 50% franchise movies because that's just what plays to my heart. But I tried to vary it up a bit.
There you go.
Nightmare
That's
Alley is
list.
another movie where I don't know if the end of the story totally comes together, but the production value, the performances, the cast, the way everything looked, the mood of the thing, there was enough very special stuff in there that I thought I'll put Nightmare Alley on the list.
Let me ask you this about Nightmare Alley, because I'm interested in that one too, but I probably will just have to wait till it's streaming somewhere. Would this go well with a double feature with like The Illusionist or what's the one that people always mix up with The Illusionist?
The Prestige?
Yeah. Like would
normally
that fit
people
in with,
remember
with
The Prestige and not The Illusionist. I've never seen The Illusionist. I don't know what's in that one.
Like people mix up those movies so often, and just like it's similar plots, but like do you think that would fit in with those?
I think so. Nightmare Alley is a movie that felt like it was supposed to have a twist at the end, and it really doesn't. And I don't know if that's within the text of the movie itself or just a vibe I got from like seeing the trailer and hearing about it. So yes, watch them together, but watch that one first. So you're not riding the high of the twist in The Prestige and then you watch this, because they're different experiences. Start with this and then watch The Prestige. I don't know anything that's in The Illusionist. I think Edward Norton, maybe.
It's been so long since I watched those that I honestly don't really remember what the plots of those movies are. But they're like neck and neck. They're like right there. Kind of the same thing, kind of not. That's why everyone just mixes them up. Stuff like that.
I'm trying to look it up. It is Edward Norton. I was correct.
Oh, there you go.
He shows up in The French Dispatch, the new Wes Anderson movie, which is a movie that would probably be my top three if I was forced to rank them. James Bond, Spider-Man, one art house movie to prove I like something that isn't spies and superheroes. The French Dispatch is very impressive. That is a rich, dense film.
Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we will take a quick break to do some housekeeping, and then we will be back with the second half of the show. So we will be right back. We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make, and yes, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and we'd love it if you would check them all out. You can find out more information on our website at thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnauts, patreon.com/The Whatnauts is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/The Whatnauts, and we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else, go to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today. And we are back. A big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters, but especially those at the $5 tier. So thank you to Sam, who has been here in the chat with us. Thank you so much. We hope you have a good 2022. Thank you. Let's see. So, cool things that's happening here at the Whatnauts. We're just getting started.
We'll tell you once we've done it.
Yeah, so the first thing that we are going to be covering on the review show, as we have mentioned, is the Matrix franchise. We're watching all of them, all three of the original live action. Yes, we're also watching the Animatrix, and we are also watching the brand new one that is out on HBO Max right now. I have yet to watch the new one still.
Really?
I'm watching it like tonight or tomorrow. Yeah.
I'd never seen any of these before. And I wound up burning through them because I thought,
okay,
if I give myself too much time between movies, I am going to forget what happened. So I just watched all 5 of them in a week.
Took some notes and stuff so you won't
I did
forget.
not take notes.
Oh, okay.
I probably should have. That would have been smart. I watched it like 2 weeks ago, and now I'm like, yeah, Matrix Resurrections. They drink coffee in it. There's
Nailed it. That's the Matrix. Yeah. So I watched Reloaded and Revolutions last night and this morning. So I'm gonna watch the brand new one tonight or tomorrow, and it'll be good to go. It'll be fresh in my mind when we talk about it on Sunday.
That's smart.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. For the Reactor Corps, I don't know exactly what our first thing will be. I'm gonna try and schedule something with Ignacio to see if we can do like here's the first 3 of Boba Fett, and then maybe we'll do the second half of that. Not sure how we're gonna do that. I know Peacemaker is also this next week on HBO Max, so I would love to do that since it's not a Marvel thing or not a Disney thing. It's still a superhero thing. But yeah, we're gonna be doing that, and then I guess when's the next Marvel show on Disney?
I'm not 100% sure when or what it is. I don't know which of I think I know which shows are expected to come out this year, but I don't know in what order.
I feel like
I don't know
it's
if it's
either going to be Moon Knight or She-Hulk would be up.
I thought it was going to be Miss Marvel. I have no idea. I don't think they've laid them out for us in order yet.
Those 3, you know what? It might be Miss Marvel because they released the teaser for that first. That was the first thing of those 3 that got teased, and it wasn't until Disney Plus Day, like a month ago now, that we finally saw like teasers for She-Hulk and Moon Knight. So it might be Miss Marvel. Who knows?
We'll have to look into it. I look forward to seeing a dedicated calendar of the releases to be expected this year. And then I think in terms of theatrically released movies, if everything, you guys would probably talk about Uncharted, but I won't be there. I don't know what it is.
I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna go see that. I'm not expecting it to be good. But
I know nothing about Uncharted. I think it's like an Indiana Jones, and I don't even know that man very well. I've seen the movie Sahara. Maybe it's like that. I watched the trailer and I thought this looks mildly fun. You know, I don't expect you would have a bad time. But then again, I've never played any of these video games, and I don't know like what things you are expecting to see, and you'll be disappointed that like his best knife didn't make it in the movie or whatever.
Oh no, not his best knife.
I don't know what thing you would be attached to out of the game.
He has a chart? Why? It goes against everything. It's Uncharted.
He's allowed a graph, but not a chart. At this time, I believe the first movie that I would like to Reactor Corps about is The Batman.
Batman is one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. And then I guess we're into just things we're looking forward to for the Reactor Corps. There's that I'm gonna screw up the name here. The everything
Sonic
all
the
the time,
Hedgehog. That's
all at
his
once.
name.
That's not what I just said, but okay.
Yes, I would also like to see. I think it is called like Everything Everywhere All at Once, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one looks fantastic. So I'm excited for all of that. So, but all of that goes to say that more Reactor Core stuff is coming. It has a brand new logo, a brand new look, brand new cover artwork for all of that stuff. Actually, I guess I can kind of tease it and show you guys here on stream what it looks like.
I haven't even seen it. You just tell us that you are going to change something and you don't key us in. I don't know the color palette. I don't know the shapes, the fonts.
It's navy blue and yellow. Still just the Whatnauts
classic, collegiate, that we've been varsity ready
using. But yeah, more yellow, I guess, is what I've been using in that. But it's still those two colors primarily. I have a couple different versions of the logo. There's one that is this like 3D kind of like rainbow effect, which is the one that's on screen right now. So if you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, you guys can see that one up there right now, where you just have like a flat one color thing. But the logo, the last R and the first C in core, I guess there's only one C in core, they're kind of touching and there's a circle around them, so we have this stamp that has the RC in that too. So there's just like a smaller version of that logo too.
Nice.
So, good stuff with that. But yeah, so that's kind of what that one will look like. But back to the captain's log look there. On the video version of that stuff, I think I mentioned it that I have a brand new design on our 6th anniversary, and I was like, and I'm gonna like in the magic of post production I think I forgot. I don't think it actually made it on screen, but yeah, so the artwork and all that stuff should change in your podcast feeds hopefully soon, if it hasn't already. Let me see if it I don't know, maybe it needs to force an update when we do the new one. I think it's still on the old one for me, but yeah,
yep, me too,
that stuff. And then for crossplay, Game of the Year, our Game of the Year podcast is the first one that we are going to be recording. We are recording that on Sunday night. And so, yeah, I'm stoked about that one. Lots of video games to talk about. So good stuff with that. That was a super long housekeeping break thing, but it was good. It's fun. You know, we got to talk about things we're excited for down the road.
Lots to say at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, lots to say indeed. Melissa, I got back from my vacation like on Wednesday night, and Thursday was my first day back at work. I tried to buy some groceries from Amazon because that's how I've been getting them since the pandemic started. I just have them delivered to my house. Amazon ran out of bread.
What kind of bread?
All of it.
Every bread?
I'm not
even a little
kidding.
crostini toast?
I went to go put some in my cart, and any kind of sandwich style bread, any kind of loaf style thing, just not there. Dinner rolls were real hard to come by. No baguettes, anything that I could potentially use to make sandwiches or stuff like that was just not there. And it was just empty, and I was I don't know how that happens. They just completely ran out of bread, all of it.
Well, that's like the number one thing people buy up when rough weather's a coming.
I mean,
Maybe there were storms elsewhere in the region and there was just a run on bread and milk.
I get. I mean, yeah. So there was a lot like milk. Milk I could still get, but I could only get the gallons, which I feel like most families would get. But I don't need all that much, so I just tend to get the half size.
Yeah,
and you couldn't get the half sizes at all. All that stuff, and yeah, I like for the most part, I can usually get what I want and what I need on there. It was the start of the pandemic when everyone was still like hoarding toilet paper and all that stuff, that it was like, well, I guess I can try this brand of stuff that I've never really heard of before, but it's still the same thing, I think. But yeah, this is the first time I'm just amazed that like no sandwiches, like no one is having sandwiches.
I mean, there's so many alternatives though. If you can't find any variety of bread, perhaps you could get a pita, a tortilla, an Eggo, a plain buttermilk Eggo. You could make it work.
I could do some real like college kid ass shit if I really wanted to. But no, I just bought. I was like, all right, it's fine. I'll just buy something else and stuff like that. I did get bagels. They managed to have bagels.
Bagel.
So I did get that, yeah. But it's just like I just don't understand it. How like that's the thing that they run out of. It just blew my mind. So
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Me.
I didn't buy any bread.
But yeah, that was my adventure when I got back home.
Adventures in bread.
The funny little story
my
there.
bread ventures is just that I make it. I make the bread.
Yeah. Speaking of, I got a Star Wars Life Day cookbook for Christmas.
Oh my God! You can make roast bantha loin.
It might even have that in there, but yeah, they have all sorts of stuff, different recipes, different foods and desserts and cocktails and all sorts of stuff. Of just like, here's some like festive Star Wars food that you can make. So I'm excited to dig into all of that.
That's fun.
I did have another book that I wanted to give a shout out to.
Yeah.
I got The Infinite Noise by Lauren Shippen.
Aww.
Christmas.
Yay.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, this is a novel based on the Bright Sessions, which is a podcast. It's a fiction podcast that I found out about years ago now. I don't even remember how
it's
long
one of the
ago
big ones.
it started. Yeah. And it's an audio drama that kind of centers itself around these therapy sessions for the strange and unusual. And it's for people that have powers and abilities and stuff like that. And it turns out that the therapist might be recruiting for something there. And that's kind of the story of the Bright Sessions. But this is a novel about two of the characters in that story, and it's Lauren's first novel that she had written. I think she's now gone on to write a few more of these.
There's a couple Bright Sessions books, yeah.
But I've had this in my wish list for a long time, and I'm excited to start this. And maybe would do a little wink, nudge in case we need something to read for Melissa's one book a year on the review show challenge.
I have thought about reading a novel based on an audio drama. I just finished Rabbits by Terry Miles, based on that audio drama from the same family of shows as Tanis. That was a very fascinating read to see what it has in common, because it's the same, a lot of the same ideas as the audio drama, but all new protagonists. The protagonists of the audio drama don't appear; they're non-existent here. So it's an entirely different perspective on the same mythology you've already enjoyed.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm excited to dig into all of that stuff. I just had to give a shout out here on the podcast because I knew you would like it. Be like, hey, Lauren Shippen, the Bright Sessions.
I'm happy to hear about these. I'm happy to hear about podcast people getting out there living. I listened to the Christmas special for the Amelia Project, and Zach Valenti from Wolf Through 59 was on it.
Nice.
I love these. I love that all audio dramas know each other.
They kind of do. I remember a long time ago, I found out that they had like a secret Slack channel where all of the like creators were like giving tips or be like, hey, what do you think about this story idea and stuff like that. And I was just like, I want to be in that so bad. Like, let me just be a fly in the wall and just like lurk
be in the Slack where it happens.
Slack. Yeah, exactly. So. Oh, well, I'm not one of the cool kids, but I almost got to write in audio drama.
You told us about this, yeah.
Yeah, that I'm sad it never happened, but that was an interesting sort of experience. I guess I experienced it, but no one else did. So there you go. Good stuff. So what else, Melissa, are you looking forward to in 2021, especially with like TV and movies and stuff? Like what? Like,
oh golly!
I know we have a bunch of like Marvel and superhero stuff, but like, are there other things that like are on your radar or on your list that you can think of? No,
honestly, not really. I don't. There aren't a lot of continuing shows that I am watching that I check in with every time. Pen 15 just released a new season that I believe is the end of
their final one.
We're going to get that Venture Brothers movie eventually. Maybe that'll be into this year, sometime next year. I don't know. We just heard the news about it last spring. So I can imagine by the end of this year, we'll at least have a trailer and a date. I look forward to that.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Is there something else like podcast related, or is like Podcast the Ride the show or James Bonding doing something that you're looking forward to? I think those are ones that you listened to.
Those are. Thank you. You're right. You remembered other podcasts I like that you don't listen to. All Fantasy Everything's doing a live stream show next week. I'm going to tune into that. Yeah, just... the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster at Epcot. I look forward to rides, hearing about rides, watching ride-through videos. Have no immediate plans to be there, but I am excited that we have this to look forward to. The first Marvel integration at Disney World. Because Guardians are like one of the few properties the MCU has dealt with that they can use in Disney World, according to the license they have with Universal, and how they have a Marvel land at Universal Studios Orlando.
Gotcha. Okay. Wouldn't I wonder what because I know they used to have like some Spider-Man stuff and they had some Hulk stuff, but I think Universal also still owns the Hulk like solo movie rights. So I don't think that factors in with the theme park stuff. I'm sure that's a completely separate thing, but I wonder if they would let them use some like Hulk stuff in that too.
Well, Universal Studios back in the 90s, when Universal Studios Orlando created the Islands of Adventure gate, there is a Marvel area in there. There's a Hulk coaster. There's a very cool Spider-Man 4D ride. I think there's Doctor Doom's Free Fall. There's some sort of a storm spin around scrambled egg ride you can do. And after Disney acquired Marvel, the rules with Universal Studios Orlando is that they have got the rights to use those properties in their theme park on that side of the Mississippi. Mississippi cuts it in half. So that's why when Disney built Adventures Campus and when they built Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, all of that is in Disneyland in California. In Florida, they can only use Marvel properties that are not represented in Universal Studios, which is why they're putting a Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Epcot, because nobody had Guardians on their radar in the 90s.
Yeah, interesting. Dang. That's kind of neat though. That's also a good like trivia fact.
This is what I have. I know a lot about these. My mom has had to listen to me tell her about this like
Explain
3
all of
separate
it.
times. I'm constantly explaining like, no, you know what? The reason why it's cool that Doc Ock was in this commercial for Spider-Man, because that's a separate continuity, Mom.
Yep.
She just listens and nods politely.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Oh my God. Mom and I went to drive around and look at Christmas lights for Christmas. And we wanted to go through one of those big like drive-through attractions. And it was just her and I. So we wanted one that was cheap. We weren't going to shell out $40 for the fancier ones when it was just the two of us. And we went to one at a park in Alton, which is a little town in Illinois, just over the border. And it was so like lo-fi and charming. Like the lights were beautiful. These things always do have gorgeous light displays. But what I love about these smaller like drive-through light attractions is that they'll just have painted plywood decorations with all sorts of characters, regardless of context. Like, as soon as we drove in, there were just a set of Spider-Man, like painted plywood Spider-Man cutouts next to a sign that just said Happy Holidays. There was a massive billboard, like full billboard size painting of just the characters from Frozen, again, that just said Happy Holidays. It's not like they're wearing Santa hats or giving each other gifts or anything. They're just there, the popular wintertime character. And there was a billboard that did have some penguins like wearing Santa hats, said Merry Christmas. And the closer I looked at it, I'm like, those are absolutely the penguins of Madagascar. Those are no normal non-IP penguins. That's them.
The like A-list celebrity penguins that we know.
Our most famous penguins, Kowalski, the rest.
Yep. Kowalski and the rest.
You got to get out to see these. Little people will just paint anything on plywood and put it in a park around a bunch of lights, and apparently nobody can tell them no.
Huh. Interesting. There you go. So let's see. I'm looking forward. It's something I actually found out today because I guess I wasn't really paying attention. Season 4 of Killing Eve is gonna be out in like February. So I'm looking forward to that. That seems really, really cool because I like that show a lot. The final season for The Expanse is happening right now. And I'm excited. I don't know when it's ending soon. I think it's going to be done by like the end of January or something like that. But I'm excited to watch that and finish that. I already mentioned the like everything all at once, all at the same time in every universe ever, whatever that movie was called. I'm stoked about that one. That like it's been very rare that I've gone to a movie theater to see a movie that was not a Marvel movie or some kind of like big franchise or superhero movie. That's because that's just what I like. I like superheroes. I like comics. Like, this is my bread and butter. And so to go out to a theater that I see something that is not in that wheelhouse, like whether it be like a crime movie or a comedy or who knows what, I don't really do that all that much. And that was like I saw that trailer and I was like, that looks awesome. Like I have to see that.
It. Yes.
Yeah.
I think this year I got out to see The Green Knight and Nightmare Alley. And I think those were my non-franchise ventures out to the movie theater.
There you go. When I still had Movie Pass, I watched a few things. Like I went to go see Ocean's 8, I remember, which was okay. But yeah, like I was like, that one looks good. I'll go watch that one. You know, just like I got nothing to do on Saturday. Let's go watch a movie and hang out.
It is something I look forward to doing more in the future. Like this was the first year I ever went to movies by myself. I saw Let There Be Carnage at the drive-in by myself, which is me sitting in my own car, which is normal. So just that part of the experience is the same. But I went to see Nightmare Alley by myself in the middle of the day just because I wanted to. Oh, I had the time off. I knew I was going to be able to go during a low traffic time. I had like reward points on my card or whatever. And I was like, let's do it. Yeah, let's jump on it. I want to see one semi-prestigious movie here at the end of the holiday season. See what Guillermo has for me.
Yeah. But I think right now that's kind of it for like that, at least that for stuff that comes to mind. For like what's like a non-Marvel, non-superhero, non-Star Wars, James Bond thing that I'm excited for. And I think it's those things there: The Expanse, Killing Eve, and that movie that I can never remember the name of because it's everything all at once.
I gotta watch me a show that's actually happening right now, because everything that's like on my watch list I think is stuff that's already done. So I have nothing to look forward to. No new installments of the thing I will be watching once I'm done watching it.
Yeah. I think the 4th seasons of Titans and Doom Patrol might be out this year, so if I can catch up in time, that will be something I'm looking forward to. But I guess that's superhero stuff, so I don't know.
We're back where we started. Yeah, we're just superhero people. Like that's us. That's our brand. Really, and maybe our brand will be different in like 6 years. Who knows where we'll be? We'll be adults and we'll watch shows about doing taxes.
Well, a good tax evasion crime show would be up my alley.
Not evading, doing them diligently. You've got papers in a manila folder. It is adult thrills.
Oh, man.
The folder will be manila, no other color. Manila.
I watch a lot of like crime shows and stuff like that. I really enjoy, or like foreign crime, Korean crime shows, all of that stuff. I really enjoy a lot of that stuff too, but they don't have the same appeal to me as like a superhero movie. Like they're not the big like blockbuster thing. Right, it's not like the next like murder mystery from like the next big Agatha Christie murder mystery movie is probably not going to get me into theaters.
Yeah, you're not thrilled to go see Death on. Yeah, you'll rent Death on the Nile. Yeah, I'll rent Death on the Nile. We'll see that death.
Absolutely.
Find out who has done it.
But yeah,
is Two Knives 2 out this year?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't think we've really heard enough about it to really say.
Who knows?
I guess it really sucks that there's not any kind of like technology or something that we could use to look it up.
And like, we don't need to know now. I don't need to know first week of January what I have to look forward to the entire rest of the year. Like, just update me in March. Like, give me a new bump every couple months.
So
I'll know
they say it is 2022, but there's not a firm like month or anything like that. It's just
previous one was November. I think it's a fine November release. It's got November vibes to it.
It would probably be around that time if we haven't heard anything yet and they don't have a specific month. But you never know, it could be pushed into early 2023. But I don't know. Netflix likes to keep their cards close to their chest. When it's like,
right, because you don't have to like plan to watch something on Netflix. Like it just happens and you're like, heck, I guess I'm doing this. I
Yeah,
guess this is my night.
indeed, indeed. Let's see. So next week, I think we should try and plan out some of the things we should do
Uh-huh.
for both the captain's log and the reactor core. I know we've kind of been talking about like, what are you looking forward to kind of fish for some of that stuff. But I think we should try jotting down some ideas for like a new like taste test thing, like we did all the Kit Kats and stuff.
Yes.
We should try and come up with some ideas for a second one of that. And just try and plan out some fun things, or like who we might want to get on the show and interview and stuff like that. I know Kind of Funny just put out some call on their Patreon to have Greg Miller come on your podcast, and I know Ignacio applied for that to hopefully get him here on the captain's log so we can interview him about, I don't know, God knows what.
Didn't he go to Mizzou? We've got a Missouri connection with him, I believe. See?
Yep.
You guys can sit quietly and I'll talk to him about Missouri stuff for 15 minutes.
Yep, there you go. That would be fantastic. I know he's a brand new father, so he can talk about that stuff, or just, you know, what it's like to be consistently shown up by all the younger members of Kind of Honey. You know, there's two of them that have made Forbes 30 under 30, and he never did.
Wow.
So anyways, we love you, Greg. But yeah, stuff like that, just ideas of like, who could we maybe go after and get and see if we can get them on the show. That would be nice. That'd be fun. But I think that's what we should do some of next week when we return for more podcasting next week. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
There you go. I say we wrap things up here with that stuff. So Melissa, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. Listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities, a show where me and my brother Jams talk about weird old kids shows you feel like only you remember. We're taking the first month off, but look for us in February.
Cool. Good stuff. Do you guys have an idea of what your first one will be?
Yeah, our first one back is Sheep in the Big City.
Nice. That's a great one. Good stuff. If you guys want to follow me, I am at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter. If you guys want to follow us here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. I mentioned on our 6th anniversary retrospective that we finally have a TikTok. So we will be posting our like Google Shorts that we've been, or not, I keep saying Google Shorts, YouTube Shorts that we've been making and testing out. We will also be posting those on TikTok. There's nothing on there as of recording this yet. Maybe this weekend I might put a couple of them up there, just as like, these were some really good ones. You should watch these. They're good. So yeah, but going forward in the new year, all that stuff will be up on TikTok as well. Last but not least, on our YouTube channel, playlists are back. We have a playlist for the review show, a playlist for the captain's log, a playlist for the Reactor Corps, and a playlist for crossplay. And it has all of them in the air. So if you kind of want to filter out all of that, you know, you can just go to the playlist of crossplay. That was a feature that we used to have. We got rid of because there was a way that it would automatically add things in there that YouTube took out, and so it's just like, oh well, okay, they screwed up everything. But now I'm getting up off my lazy butt, and I'm making sure to upkeep those playlists this year. So be on the lookout for all of that. Sam is in the chat saying, yes, amazing. Why? What are you referring to? Sam, is that the TikTok or is that the sheep in the big city thing? 'Cause it could equally be either one of those.
There's many news, much news.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so there's lots of exciting things happening here at the Whatnauts. Sam says, yes, amazing to sheep and why to TikTok.
Yeah.
So I guess long story short, I'm just trying to think of ways to branch out content and reach more people and stuff like that. And if we can take bits and pieces of our podcast and put up like a funny YouTube clip or like a short TikTok thing, I think that always plays better in the algorithm than like longer podcasts and stuff like that. So we're just trying things out, testing, experimenting, all sorts of stuff like that. There you go. Sam says, I just associate it with mean teenagers. Well, you know what? We're gonna be mean adults on TikTok.
No.
So there we go. There we go.
Very
That's what
nice
you can
adults. We're just going to be there talking about how every prequel should follow the same format as The Phantom Menace. Every week we'll try something new.
It's going to be good. It'll be fun. But that's it. That wraps us up for the first podcast of the year. This has been the Captain's Log number 173. We will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.